Say goodbye to any sort of developer, Fiverr freelancer, Upwork freelancer, or any agency that you're paying on a monthly basis or project basis, where you no longer even need them. You don't need any more tools like Framer, Webflow, or any of these other website builders like Wix or anything like that. All of these tools are tools of the past. Now in the age of AI, you can literally create with your ideas in plain English. It could be, in fact, any language. It doesn't matter what it is. All you really need is a simple tool like Claude Desktop. It could be Codex. It could be whatever favorite AI platform you're using. In this video specifically, we're going to be talking about how you can replace your web developer with Claude Desktop. So I'm going to show you inside my computer how you can launch a simple project, how you can get it up and running live, how you can modify and customize it with using an AI like Claude, and then from there deploying it to production so you can have a live and ready website. You do not need to be technical. You do not need to know a bunch of crazy design principles, although it does help with taste. All you need is a simple $20 a month Claude subscription, and then from there you're off and good and ready to go. So let's dive right into the computer. I'll show you exactly how you can get set up and how you can deploy your very first website without a web developer, whether it's for your personal life or even your business. All right, we're gonna cut right to the chase and just get right into the whole entire video and how you can actually deploy your own websites and replace an entire web development team, right? It's very simple, straightforward. So I'm just gonna tell you two things we're gonna need to get started. So the very first thing that you need obviously is a Claude subscription. So make sure you get that. And then once you do have a Claude subscription, make sure you download the Claude Desktop app. So once you do get it, it'll look something like this. Right now we are in Claude Code. There are 3 different tools that you can use. So you can use Code, Cowork, and Chat. We're going to be working inside Code. So once you do open that up, use Code. The other thing we're going to need is Vercel. So this is going to be for web app hosting, platform hosting, or whatever. So if you do not have a Vercel account, go to vercel.com. Go to vercel.com, make sure you create your Vercel account. The other thing you're going to also need is, if you are totally new to this, you're non-technical at all, then also get a GitHub account. So in short, what GitHub is just a simple platform where you can host and store your repository. So there are some sort of histories and checkpoints. You can think of them sort of as like checkpoints, right, in your code base history. So whenever we deploy something, right, we might deploy it and connect it to Vercel. And then once it's connected to Vercel, what happens is, however you save and commit your changes, which basically means when you save a checkpoint for your code base when you're working on it, what happens is it's automatically synced with Vercel. So when it's synced with Vercel, it's automatically going to push it to production. So it's going to be live. And if anything, you ever do a mistake or anything like that, there are these sorts of checkpoints. You can think of them, right? So you can always roll back to a previous version in case you accidentally rolled something out, or maybe say you want to switch a path and work on another branch of, say, your main directory, which maybe you may be working on new features, upgrades, whatever. You can think of GitHub as a tool where you can save and add checkpoints to the progress you're making on any project, website, app, whatever that you're working on. So we're not going to get too deep into what GitHub is. Just make sure you have a GitHub account, Vercel account, and then Claude. So the very first thing we have to do is we have to initialize a project directory to work on. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I have a few vaults right here. I'm just going to click open folder. So I have a bunch of directories already here. I always recommend creating like some sort of development folder or directory inside of your computer. So here I have dev, and then what you want to do is press new folder. So you can name the folder of whatever project that you're working on. So it could be a specific website, it could be for your service, it could be for, I don't know, your personal brand, whatever. Just press new folder, name it whatever, and then press open. So here I created a demo project called tree service. So what we're going to be doing in this demo example is be creating a tree service website. So you ever saw those tree cutters out there in your local city or whatever? So we're going to be doing a demo project of a local tree service company. So how do you actually go out and create this stuff? So the first thing what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have auto accept edits on. So not for just asking permissions. Basically, these are different permissions for your AI. So it could be truly agentic. So when you allow the AI to accept its own edits, you don't have to constantly just approve everything, right? I think a big bottleneck to letting these things really excel and perform really, really good is when you do not allow them to have full access and permissions to your computer, which in itself can be a constraint. So, that's why it's kind of good in the beginning to kind of get used to it, let it feel out your computer, what you got going on. And so you're kind of monitoring the traceability of like all the progress and thinking and steps that it's doing. You'll see here in the video. So usually what I like to do is whenever I'm starting off with any project and I like inspiration, there's a few things I like to do. First thing is you want to find inspiration. So unless you're really good with prompting and you're very clear with the word selection, the ideas, and everything's already concrete in your mind, then you can just fully go out there and express and use words to just generate an idea. I always suggest using some sort of voice diction tool with AI. So this one here is with Super Whisper. It's a really good one. There's also Whisper Flow. Also, Claude itself, it has a voice diction tool where they transcribe speech text. So it's a super useful tool whenever you're transcribing ideas into text without just typing yourself. So just a simple productivity hack. So here what I did was I found a random business in Los Angeles that I want to model. They have a pretty good website for their own service. So we're just going to be modeling this whole entire website, and I'll show you exactly how you can do that. Right? Super simple and easy. By the way, if you're looking for like design tips in terms of like how to make this really, really good, an alternative suggestion is to go to a website like Dribbble. And then we can go to Dribbble is like you can find a website here that you'd like to study. Actually, I might find something here that is more, say, prettier, right? Actually, I like this website right here by this one designer. He created a pretty interesting website, so we might just use that instead. It just looks way better in my opinion versus that other website. I don't know why, but a lot of these local guys, no offense to you guys, the websites aren't really that nice. But anyway, so what you want to do is there's two ways how you can go about this. So either you can just explain to Claude AI and just tell exactly what you want, which is quite easy in itself, or you can pretty much use the tool like a screenshotter. So I have this tool here, it's called Go Full Page. It's a Chrome extension, and then what you do is you press the Chrome extension, and then pretty much it saves the whole entire page like that. Once it saves the whole page, save it as PDF, and it's going to save to your downloads. So I just dragged and dropped the PDF, so it's right here. And now what you want to do is just be like, hey, I'm looking to create this project inside of this directory. We're going to be using Next.js and also React to create the website. So these are just programming frameworks and languages. So they're very simple, straightforward, very common and popular. So use that. Also, your computer may not have Node downloaded. So if anything, make sure you download Node.js. You may get an error, but if anything, Claude will help you troubleshoot that. So Node.js is free. Just download it on your computer just in case you run into the issue. Just a little warning. But anything, what we're going to do here is we're going to provide the prompt and let AI cook. I want to create a website just like this PDF here. Create it inside of my directory called tree service and just model it to the best of your ability. Give me a starting point to work with. Copy it to the best of your ability. So usually what we want to do is just give it a starting point so we can start referencing into something. Once it has something to reference, then what we can do is you can work with it. So that's why we give context, PDFs, and then from there it just gets to work. I forgot to mention, but we're also going to need a coding directory so we can work with this and just kind of just start up the server. So we're going to be using Cursor AI. It's one of the best coding platforms. We're not going to be coding with it. I just like their platform interface. So once you download Cursor, or maybe you have anti-gravity, maybe you're using VS Code, doesn't matter what it is. What we want to do is we want to open up the directory that we were just working in. So here you can see we have tree service. Let me just make sure you can see it. So here we open up the directory called tree service. And what we're doing is we're just gonna press Command J, or we can do is you can just pull up the bottom here. And then what we're gonna wanna do is once it installs the frameworks, so as you can see here, it's just asking for permissions. This is usually what happens when, say, you're working in a new directory. So now I forgot to mention, something about the AI in terms of how to code it. We're gonna wanna specify that we wanna build this with Next.js and also React. I forgot to mention, but also build it with Next.js and React, because what it was about to do here was build me a simple, stupid HTML site with just some CSS, which is not gonna really look too good. And I was trying to make this more so, and just preferably I was looking for it to be in Next.js and React. Oh, the diction is on. So here you can see the traceability of everything happening in terms of it's running the agent, the background agent. By the way, alternatively, if you already have Claude Code downloaded on your computer and you don't want to run it through the desktop, you can also literally be running it through Cursor. So if, say, you're opening up the folder directory here and then you got Claude Code as a extension inside of your directory, you can also work with it here. Right, so we just open it up and it's right there. Alternatively, if you ran Claude and you have it downloaded on your computer and you just ran the command Claude inside of your terminal here, it's also going to open up right there. But I'm just letting you know there's multiple ways how you can run this thing. So we're just going to wait here to let it build the MVP, and we'll just see what that looks like. I'm going to see if I can run up the server so we can actually start seeing any progress. So we can do npm run dev. It's going to start up a local dev server, and then you want to open up this local host right here. So you can press command and then click. So as you can see here, it's still not ready, so it's still going to be cooking. But yeah, while it's doing that, I just want to mention some tips. I think one of the biggest hacks that you can do is literally use tools like Dribbble or Mobbin or any of these tools where there are reference UIs. I like creating swipe files of, say, when I like certain UI, certain features, components I find online, onboarding flows, whatever. I like to save these in a swipe file. So in the future, if I ever want to reference something, a specific way a developer did or a company did, I always have a reference file of the best practices. So that's why it's really good to have something like Dribble, or maybe you have inspiration sites, or maybe some sort of like colorways. So you can easily go on these websites and just kind of look at it and then literally just feed it to the AI. If you could just like save this image to your computer and provide it as a reference, then AI is going to cook. Your AI is going to cook, I'm telling you. So this thing is still building it. As you can see here, it's just running some commands. We're still waiting for this thing to finish up coding. But in the meantime, yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to find inspiration online. And then once you have the inspiration, it just makes the job so much easier. It's insane. Sometimes this thing can literally zero shot a prompt and it's crazy. It cooks. By the way, we are not going to be hooking up a backend database to this. Maybe we can do this in another day. But nonetheless, we are going to get the front end up. So here we got an error. So whenever you do get an error, either the AI is going to identify it. Otherwise, if it doesn't, all you literally have to do is just press copy, come back, paste it, and then just press enter. But since it's still running, just let it do its thing, and let's just see if it figures out how to fix the problem itself. So here we go. It actually just created this. As you can see here, it literally just cooked this thing up in one shot. Check this out. It just did this. Like, this is the website, by the way. Just letting you know, this is the website. So as you can see here, this is the local host right here, and this is literally what it created in one shot. It found Unsplash images, free images, and it did a pretty darn good job. Check this out. It's amazing. So when we go back to our reference images of like how this shit looked like when we were referencing the Dribble images, I mean, check it out. It looks so aligned in terms of the branding, the UI, the flow, the images, the stylization, and you can go even further with it and pretty much be like, oh, this is what I want, blah, 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 right? So you can really get really personalized and custom with Claude, and all you're doing is just chatting back and forth with it. Like, check it out. You already cooked it up. And the way you're going to see this is if you run and spin up the development server. So that's why when we came over here, what's going on over here? Let me just cancel it. In case you don't have the development server ready, remember, npm run dev, get the server running. Once you have it running, you can press the local host and then visit this server here. So this is not going to be a live website. That's why we were going to use Vercel. So once you have this going, what you want to do is tell Claude to hook it up and link it to your Vercel. So here, we're just going to quickly type, hey, I want to connect this to my Vercel. I want to deploy it to production. Help me connect it to my Vercel account as a new project, and then from there, deploy it. So we're going to send this prompt. If you don't have already Vercel added as a connector, do it now. So we would go to customize, go to connectors, and then go to plus, and then add Vercel. So as you can already see here, I have Vercel. And then what you want to do here is you can toggle the permissions to be similar to mine. So my permissions look something like this, because sometimes it's either going to be doing it automatically, it's going to be asking for permission, or it's not going to let you do it at all. But once you got the Vercel connected, then what it's going to happen is you can do that either straight from here, or if you have like any sort of environment variables or keys inside of your project, it's automatically just going to be able to use the API keys, which are just simple keys which can talk with the servers of Vercel to deploy and read your project base or user account. So here, I already found my project, found my team. It's going to deploy it to production. So as you can see here, my project is getting deployed, the tree service. So I didn't do anything, right? I just prompted the AI to do it. And by the way, I did mention earlier about using GitHub, but if you do not have GitHub connected to your repository, you can do that here in the Git section. If you go under settings in the project, here's going to be an option to do connected Git repository. So if you do not have a connected Git repository, you can just initialize a project here in your code base. So right here, you can initialize it. You can just set an initial commit. You can commit it, and then you can publish the branch. And then when you publish a branch, you can choose to do either public or private. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to do it because I don't want this repository inside of my GitHub, but you can publish it. It's going to give you an option right here to do public or private. Just do private, and then from there you should be good. And then it should automatically sync to your Vercel. If not, you have to go to settings, connect GitHub, and then select the project that you just added to your GitHub account, which is going to be this tree service account. So once it deploys, you're going to go to deployments. You're going to go to overview, you're going to go to overview, and then you're going to press tree service app. It's just a random link. And now this is a public website. This is a public website right now that you can use. So if I literally go to this link, I don't have to rely on my server anymore. and it's public and live and ready for you to use. All you have to do if you want to use your real domain is go back to Vercel. Here where it says domains, you're going to want to press add domain, and then from here you're just going to want to add an existing domain. So just follow the user flow right here. When adding a domain, just put in your domain, and then from there you can connect, say, GoDaddy, Namecheap, or whatever domain service provider you have, and then from there you'll be able to have your legit business or personal domain that you want to use. Very straightforward. So this is literally how you can replace your web developer with Claude AI. It could be Codex, it doesn't matter. It's insanely easy. Anyone can do it. The only limitation is your inability to prompt really effectively and really good. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you in another one. Subscribe for more. Sign up to my newsletter if you want to learn more about AI and how you can master AI. I send tips every single week in my newsletter, so check that out. See ya.